In the royal courts of the Joseon Dynasty, there were warriors, scholars, and powerful ministers. But behind them all was a silent, mysterious figure whose craft shaped the taste of the entire kingdom. Today, we reveal the hidden story of the palace artisan who mastered the ancient art of Ganjang, the black soy sauce that became the soul of Korean cooking. This is the untold mystery of the royal Ganjang master. In ancient Korea, Ganjang was not just a seasoning. It was medicine. It was a preservative. It was a sacred ingredient used in royal feasts, sacred rituals, and even treatments for illness. The Joseon Palace operated on a powerful belief. Food is the foundation of the kingdom. And Ganjang, the black soy sauce, was considered the very heart of all flavors. It was so important that the king's health, and by extension the nation's stability, was believed to depend on its quality. Because of this, only one person in the entire royal palace was trusted with creating it, a master artisan whose name never appeared in the official history books. This person wasn't a chef or a minister. They were something far more specialized, a guardian of a flavor that defined an era. Their identity was a closely guarded secret, their work performed in the shadows, away from the public eye. So, how was such a person chosen? Every century, the palace would select a single artisan, often trained from childhood, for this immense responsibility. This person needed to possess a rare combination of skills: the patience of a monk waiting years for fermentation to reach perfection, the precision of a scientist measuring salt and water with absolute accuracy, and the intuition of a healer understanding how the environment affected the delicate life within the jars. The training was brutal. Most apprentices failed, unable to grasp the subtle art of fermentation. Only one in a generation would succeed. This chosen one was known simply as the master of the ongi room. They weren't famous, they weren't celebrated in public, but within the palace walls, their authority over flavor was absolute. Making royal ganjang was nothing like the process we know today. The craft was a forbidden art, a secret passed down only through whispers from master to apprentice. It was never written down, never shared outside the palace walls. The master worked alone in a hidden courtyard, surrounded by hundreds of dark earthen jars called ongi. Each jar held the potential for either a divine flavor or a disastrous failure. The process required total dedication. It started with fermenting soybeans into dense blocks called meiju. Then came the true test, watching the jars day and night, listening for the faint bubbling sounds of active fermentation, smelling the air for the slightest change in aroma, and even reading the weather to predict how the sun or humidity would affect the sauce. The master had to adjust the salt levels with pinpoint precision because a single mistake could ruin an entire year's batch. This would not only be a culinary failure, but a grave offense, one that could lead to severe punishment as the royal meals depended entirely on it. The master didn't just make sauce, they believed each jar had a spirit. They treated the ongi as living things, nurturing them, protecting them, and guiding them. Some palace workers whispered that the ganjang masters could actually communicate with the fermenting jars, a mystical skill that was only passed down to a chosen few. But the secrets of the ganjang master went even deeper. Historical rumors describe a chilling tradition. When a ganjang master passed away, their final, most perfect batch of soy sauce was sealed and stored deep within the palace. This sauce, aged for decades, sometimes even a century, was believed to carry their lifelong wisdom and spirit. It wasn't for everyday use. Kings would only use this ancient, priceless ganjang for the most important occasions: sacred ceremonies to honor the ancestors, special healing foods for the royal family, or during national crisis rituals to pray for the kingdom's well-being. Some records even hint that a single jar of 50-year-old ganjang was once valued higher than a royal horse. But here lies the greatest mystery of all. No one ever learned where the original recipe came from. It was a flavor so complex, so profound, that it was simply said to be a taste gifted by heaven. During the turbulent late Joseon period, The final recorded Ganjang master left behind dozens of his precious aged jars. But as the palace fell into turmoil and the old ways began to crumble, he vanished without a trace. His disappearance created a legend of its own. Some believed he escaped, carrying the sacred recipe with him to protect it from falling into the wrong hands. Others whispered a darker tale, that he died defending the jars from looters. A few hopeful stories even suggest that he passed the secret onto a humble village family, which still guards the heavenly recipe to this day. The truth of what happened to the last master and his ancient knowledge remains unknown. Today, Korean soy sauce has evolved, with modern factories producing it on a massive scale. But the flavor foundation, that deep, savory core, still carries the fingerprint of those ancient palace artisans. The royal Ganjang master may remain a mystery, a ghost in the pages of history, but his craft shaped centuries of Korean cuisine. The work of this forgotten artist still influences the taste of almost every Korean household today. If you enjoy hidden Korean history, palace mysteries, and the forgotten masters of traditional food, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories like this. Thanks for watching.